Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is our first lecture with respect to online series. We are starting our course of molecular rearrangements. As we start our lectures with recitation of Holy Quran, so I will recite a few verses from Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العظيم. So I will let you know what are the rearrangement reactions. Rearrangement is a reaction where an atom or a group of atoms migrate from one atom to another atom within the same molecule or among the molecules. We can easily understand rearrangements from this example which I am writing over here. These are three atoms. Atom A is connected to B and it is also connected with atom W. If W changes its place from A to B or it shifts from A to B, the resulting molecule will be this one, and this type of process is known as rearrangement, and further it is known as 1-2 rearrangement. There are some rearrangements which take place over longer distances. There are three main types of rearrangements which are known as nucleophilic rearrangement, or anisotropic rearrangement. Second type is electrophilic rearrangement. It is also known as catinotropic rearrangement. The third and last type of rearrangements is known as free radical rearrangement. Nucleophilic rearrangement is the type of rearrangement where the group W migrates along with its two electrons and changes its place from A to B. Such type of rearrangement is known as nucleophilic because the species W over here behaves like a nucleophile. Whereas in case of electrophilic rearrangement, case is different. Group W migrates from A to B without taking its electrons with it. That is, group is moving, but it is not taking electrons. Electrons of atom B are utilized for its migration, and the arrow looks like this one, which I am drawing over here. This is the most preferable arrow for electrophilic type of rearrangement. Now it is known as electrophilic because group W again behaves like an electrophilic species. There is another mode of rearrangement, that is free radical rearrangement. In case of free radical rearrangement, the group W behaves like a free radical. So it takes one of its electrons with it during movement, so arrow will be fish hook arrow. And the arrow will be drawn like this one. So this is free radical type of rearrangement. There are some terminologies which should be kept in mind while studying rearrangements. These terminologies are the migration origin, and migration terminus. Migration terminus is the atom to which a migrating group is undergoing a shift, whereas migration origin is an atom from where the migrating group is detaching initially, and this WO is known as migrating group. Moreover, such type of 1-2 rearrangements are known as Whitmore 1-2 shifts. Whitmore 1-2 shifts. Among these three types of rearrangements, the most common type of rearrangement is nucleophilic rearrangement. And we can easily understand why this type is most common type of rearrangement. It can be observed from the molecular orbital diagram. We know the transition state for this reaction, which looks like this one. In this transition state, this bond is involved, this bond is being broken, and this bond is being formed. So, orbital associated with atom A is involved, orbital associated with atom W is involved, and the orbital associated to atom B is involved. There are three total orbitals which are combined together, and they will give rise a set of three new molecular orbitals. Among them, one will be the bonding molecular orbital, and two will be the anti-bonding molecular orbitals. We can write this molecular orbital diagram for the three types of rearrangements. For example, this is for nucleophilic, and then same for free radical type, and same for electrophilic rearrangement. We can easily fill electrons involved in all the cases. How we calculate that, how much number of electrons are involved in the process? We can easily judge by knowing the type of rearrangement. As we know, in case of nucleophilic rearrangement, the group is moving along with its electrons. It means that the atom towards which this group is moving is not having electrons. So there are total 2 electrons involved in this transition state, and those 2 electrons will be filled in bonding molecular orbitals. In case of free radical rearrangement, we know that atom W is taking one of its electrons with it. So one electron from atom B will be involved for this bond formation. It means there are total 3 electrons involved in this transition state, because 2 electrons were present in this bond and 1 electron is being contributed by atom B. So these 3 electrons will be filled in this way. And then in case of electrophilic rearrangement, we know that atom W is moving without its electrons. It means the new bond will be formed by lone pair of atom B, which means there are 4 electrons in the transition state. So these 4 electrons will be filled in this manner. We know from our basic knowledge that whenever electrons are filled in the antibonding molecular orbitals, the system becomes unstable. So this instability of the system makes these two rearrangements least common than the nucleophilic rearrangement. However, these free radical and electrophilic rearrangements do take place. The reason behind that is accommodation of electrons by a group which is capable of accommodating the extra electrons which are going into antibonding molecular orbitals, and usually this group is the phenyl group. Broadly speaking, there are two modes of rearrangements. These two modes are in a sense that how the shifting of group takes place from one molecule to another molecule or within the same molecule. If a group detaches itself from the migration origin, reattaches with the migration terminus in the same molecule, it means that there is no complete detachment of the group. This mode of rearrangement is known as intramolecular rearrangement. However, there is another mode of rearrangement. For example, atom W detaches itself from the migration origin. This is complete detachment, and after complete detachment, this system looks like this one, and W is a separate entity. And this W then goes into another molecule of similar type. Now, how we find this type of intermolecular rearrangement? There is an experiment which is known as crossover experiment, which is carried out for determining whether a rearrangement is intermolecular or intramolecular. In case of crossover experiment, we use two similar molecules, that is, we use the reaction mixture, not a single compound. The reaction mixture is having a capability that the atom C is similar to atom B and atom Y is similar to W. It may be said that W is a methyl group and Y is an ethyl group. And then results after the rearrangement reaction, results are observed in the products. If we find a product from this reaction where W is connected to C and Y is connected to B, then rearrangement is known as intermolecular rearrangement, because W should go to B if the rearrangement is intramolecular, but it should go to C for intermolecular rearrangement. Similarly, Y should move to C during intramolecular movement, and it should move to B for intermolecular rearrangement. And same is the case in our products. So the rearrangement is intermolecular, not intramolecular.